Good morning, friends. Today we're going to discuss about Delhi Sultans. Before get start with the rulers of Delhi Sultans, see the history of kings who invade India and started to rule India. The first Arab king who invaded India is Muhammad Ghazim. He invaded India for gold and money. Thereafter is Muhammad Ghazni. We studied a lot about Muhammad Ghazni, stating that he lost 17 times against India, but that is not true. He invaded India, but all the 17 times he got lots of money and gold and took to his country. Next to Muhammad Ghazni, Muhammad Ghori was the one who invaded India. While he invaded India, he had a wish to rule the India, and he started to fight with Prithvi Chauhan in 1191 in the Battle of Tarain 1. He lost. He lost it. Again, he came back to India in 1192 and fought in Battle of Tarain 2 against Prithvi Chauhan, and he won the battle. Once he won the battle, he called his slave Kutubuddin Aibak and made him as a governor and asked him to rule India. So far, what we discussed is history of Delhi Sultans, how they invaded India and how captured India. Now we're going to see the rulers from sultans who ruled India and who ruled India. The first one is the slave dynasty. As I said, Gori called his slave Kutubuddin Aibak. Kutubuddin Aibak came to Gori as a child and he joined as a slave. As a slave, he did all the works and he is part of a military and a chief commander, and he became a governor. Muhammad Ghori was died once he on the way to Samarkand by unknown source peoples. Nothing has been described a lot in the books. With the help of Bakhtiyar Khilji, Kutubuddin Aibak captured Bihar and West Bengal. Kutubuddin Aibak destroyed Nalanda University, and Kutubuddin Aibak introduced the Zia tax. He started to construct Kutubuddin Minar with the remembrance of Bakhtiyar Khilji. He constructed Guat-ul Islam, a mosque. And he also called as a Lak Baksha. While playing a horse polo game in India, we call it as a Chauhan. He fell from a horse and he died with the injuries. He ruled between 2010 2002 1206 2010. After his death, is another Kutubuddin Aibak's slave Iltutmish became a governor, and he started to rule India. He is not only a slave. Iltutmish is not only a slave; he is also a son-in-law. He fought with with Aram Shah, son of Aibak, and he became a governor and he started to rule. During his ruling period, Jalaluddin Shah, yeah, king of Central Asia, seek help with Iltutmish, but Iltutmish rejects it. The reason was Jalaluddin Shah wants to fight with the Mongolian king Genghis Khan at the time. Iltutmish knows that Genghis Khan have more military powers, and if Mongolians Genghis Khan invade India, they will definitely capture India. Hence, he rejects the Central Asia king Jalaluddin's request. That was a good decision made by Iltutmish at the time. Iltutmish completed the construction of Kutubuddin Minar, and he introduced silver and copper coins. The silver coin named Tanga and copper coin named gold. Ikta system has been introduced during period. Ikta means giving lands instead of salary. Iltutmish ruled between 1206 to 1210 to 1236. After Iltutmish dead, his descendants, his son, daughter, Rashia Begum, and his grandson, who fought for 10 years from 1236 to 1246. That is nothing much to say. In the ruling period, the last descendant was Muhammad III. He ruled between 1246 to 1266. Iltutmish descendants fought long with the help of military slaves, nearly for 30 years, from 1236 to 1266. Once after the descendants ruled, uh, the Balban, Ghiyasuddin Balban, who take in charge of governor and ruled India. Ghiyasuddin Balban ruling period is 1266 to 1287. Ghiyasuddin Balban, who was has a good relationship with Mongolians, and Mongolians sent a goodwill to Ghiyasuddin. In the goodwill, what it was mentioned as the Mongolians, they won't cross Sutlej. Ghiyasuddin made his son Muhammad Khan as a governor, but due to the Mongolians invade, Muhammad Khan was killed. After Muhammad Khan died, Ghiyasuddin kept bed and he was sick. And Ghiyasuddin, another name was Ulugh Khan. Ghiyasuddin youngest son Kaikubad ruled once after Ghiyasuddin gets sick. Kaikubad was killed by Jalaluddin Khaliji, and the Khaliji dynasty gets started, and the slave dynasty gets in over here with Kaikubad. Kaikubad was the last ruler of slave dynasty. Now Khaliji dynasty gets started. Khaliji dynasty, it was between 1290 to 1320. It's just for 30 years. We discuss in detail about the Khaliji dynasty. Jalaluddin Khaliji was a king. In his old age, he fought many wars and winning all the fights. He ruled between 1290 to 1290 to 1296. He sent his son-in-law. His son-in-law name is Alauddin Khaliji. He sent his son-in-law to Malwa to invade golden money. Alauddin Khaliji went to Malwa, and while on return, he invaded Devagiri fort and sent few members to kill Jalaluddin Khaliji. Once Jalaluddin Khaliji died, Alauddin Khaliji get his throne and became a king. Once Alauddin Khaliji came into the power, he stopped invade of Mongolians. Mongols invade India in 1298. He stopped Mongolians with his military power. Thereafter, with help of Malik Kafur, he asked to invade the southern parts of India. Malik Kafur gets started to invade the south parts of India. He started with Chittur, that was happened in 1303, and thereafter Devagiri fort in 1307, and he invaded Kakatiya king. He fought with Kakatiya king in 1309 and Austria king in 1310, and he invaded Madurai in 1311. Jalaluddin Khilji. Actually, now we're going to discuss about the things which he implemented by Jalaluddin Khilji. He laid good roads. He built dams. He Jalaluddin Khalji abolished the jizya tax, and he was the first king introduced salary as money. He banned liquor in the market. He stopped the black market. Uh, he banned gambling. Whoever been gambled and drinked, he made prison. He also constructed Alain Darwaza, the entrance of Qutub Minar. Once after the Jalaluddin Khalji has been ruled between 1092 2000. Sorry, Alauddin Khalji has been ruled between 1296 to 1316. Next, Kaiser Khan, the son of Jalaluddin Khalji, came into power. With help of Malik Kafur, Kaiser Khan take the governance, but Malik Kafur died within 35 days once after Kaiser Khan come into the power. Now Ziauddin Tughlaq, who killed Kaiser Khan and take the power and started to rule the country. With Kaiser Khan is the last ruler of Khalji dynasty. Now the Tughlaq dynasty is going to get started. The Tughlaq dynasty period is 1320 to 1414. The first ruler of Tughlaq dynasty is Ziauddin Tughlaq. In 1325, Jana Khan killed his father Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq, and he became a leader as a Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Muhammad bin Tughlaq is also called as Jana Khan. He is an educated. Muhammad bin Tughlaq is an educated king, but he is an unlucky king. Why we say him as an unlucky king means he took 3 decisions, but all 3 decisions made failure. The first decision is the capital is at Delhi. What he think is from Delhi, he can't able to rule the south part of India. Hence, he wanted to move the capital to Devagiri, which was in Maharashtra. By that, he can concentrate on north and south. So hence, he asked people to, some important officials to move to Devagiri. Once after that, the Mongols get invaded into India. By that, he come to know he took the wrong decision. So he asked to return the officials to again to Delhi. He again changed the capital from Devagiri to Delhi. This is the one of the wrong decision made by Jana Khan Muhammad bin Tughlaq. The second one is at the time that is a silver coins has been published among the people, but he wants to introduce the copper coins. That is once he introduced the copper coin, there is lots of duplicates has been issued. By coming to know this, he banned copper coins and again he changed it to silver coins. And the last one is he made some tax to agriculture for the irrigation. People made wide protest. Hence, he came back with the decision. So all these 3 decisions which he made, he been back, and he's unlucky king during that period. And now what to say? What are all the things he been published? Firoz Khan, he introduced the jizya tax. He increased the Qutub Minar height. He tells to his soldier that there is no fight record with no need of fight. We need a peace, like that he will say. There is total 180,000 slaves. He teach them handicraft and found 1,200 gardens in the city called Firozabad. these are the things he invaded. The last Tughlaq is the Nasiruddin. There is nothing much more about Nasiruddin over there. The Tughlaq dynasty gets with get ends with Nasiruddin. Next, the Sayyid dynasty. Inside the Sayyid dynasty, there is a Timur invasion. Much more Timur invention is there. Next, the Lodi dynasty. The last Sultan in the Lodi dynasty is the Ibrahim Lodi. The first battle of Panipat in 1526, Akbar won that, and the Delhi Sultan's ruling ends over here. The last Delhi Sultan king is Lodi, Ibrahim Lodi. Thanks, friends.